Welcome to That's the Thing, and today's subject is Israel. So, the chief rabbis of today, we will start in March of 2016. Yosef called for religious Jews to keep their children away from secular or traditional members of their family because they could be a negative influence. In December, he said that it was not the way of the Torah for women to join the IDF or even sign up for civilian national service. In quotes, all the great sages through the generations, including all Israel's chief rabbis, believe that it is forbidden for girls to go into the army, not just to the army, but to national service too. In 2017, the Times of Israel reports the chief rabbi of Israel on Saturday night appeared to suggest during his weekly sermon that secular women behave like animals due to their immodest dress. In 2018, on March 18th, Yosef allegedly likened people of black African descent to monkeys. 2019. Following news that couples from the former Soviet Union were asked by rabbinical courts to take DNA tests in order to prove their Jewish heritage, Yosef, alongside David Lau, sought new legislation that would allow Israel rabbinical courts to challenge the Jewishness of a person, even if he was not even registered for marriage and did not apply for religious services. In January 2020, he was criticized for calling immigrants from the former Soviet Union communist religion-hating Gentiles. So to recap, we have the Shepherdie chief rabbi of Israel, known as the Rishon LeZion. All right, his name is Yitzhak Yosef. Born January 16, 1952. And as we know it, the rabbi of Israel does not believe in the Son of God that has already come. The Messiah has already come. All the signs and wonders have been done. They've been put in place. The prophecies have been fulfilled. And they still can't see it. So, we will continue. Let's see, it was ended in 2020. And in January of 2021, Yosef was criticized for flouting the coronavirus health restrictions. He said science and math are nonsense and students should only study Torah instead, adding proudly that he himself never finished school or received a diploma. Critics accused Yosef of promoting dependence on government handouts and charitable donations instead of advancing self-reliance. In July of 21, the rabbi stated that it's better to live abroad than among secular Israelis. So, you see, this doesn't sound anything like the loving God that we know. Abba Father, Israel has clearly shown the world that they are not living by the Torah that they read. In fact, the Dome of the Rock was not always having people worship together. So the Dome of the Rock, they worship God and false gods together. That's ridiculous. So let's take a look at the Dome of the Rock, Islamic shrine at the center of the Mosque compound on the Temple Mount in the Old City of Jerusalem, a site also known to Muslims as the Haram al-Sharif. Its initial construction was undertaken by the Umayyad Caliphate on the orders of al-Malik during the Second Fitna, 691 to 692 CE, and it has since been situated on the top of the site of the Second Jewish Temple built in 516 BCE to replace the destroyed Solomon's Temple and rebuilt by Herod the Great, which was destroyed by the Romans in 70 CE. The original dome collapsed in 1015 and was rebuilt in 1022 to 23. Interesting. The Dome of the Rock is the world's oldest surviving work of Islamic architecture. And the foundation stone that the temple was built over bears great significance in the Abrahamic religions as the place where God created the world as well as the first human Adam. I know sometimes these words are difficult to say very early in the morning. It is also believed to be the site where Abraham attempted to sacrifice his son. And as the place where God's divine presence is manifested more than any other place, towards which Jews turn during prayer. I wonder what they pray about when they're there. The site's great significance for Muslims derives from traditions connecting it to the creation of the world and the belief that the night journey of Muhammad began from the rock at the center of the structure. They'll believe in this Muhammad, but they won't believe in Jesus. So this journey of Muhammad to have traveled on the back of Burak to Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Temple Mount, where he led other prophets in prayer. Designated by UNESCO, in all capitals, as a World Heritage Site, it has been called Jerusalem's most recognizable landmark, along with two nearby old city structures, the Western Wall and the Resurrection Rotunda in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. It is earliest archaeologically attested religious structure to be built by a Muslim ruler, and the building's inscriptions contain the earliest epigraphic proclamations of Islam and the Islamic prophet Muhammad. The inscriptions proved to be a milestone, as afterward they became a common feature in Islamic structures and almost always mention Muhammad. The Dome of the Rock remains a unique monument of Islamic culture in almost all respects, including as a work of art and a cultural and pious document. Of course, we know that it is layered with gold on top, and it cost a lot. I did a post on that earlier. The Dome of the Rock also contains an inscription, 240 meters long, that includes some of the earliest surviving examples of the verses from the Quran in a architectural context or otherwise. The Bismillah, in the name of God and merciful and compassionate, in parentheses, the phrase that starts each verse of the Quran, and the Shahada, the Islamic confession of faith, which states that there is only one God and Muhammad is his prophet, are also included in the inscription. The inscription also refers to Mary and Christ and proclaimed that Christ was not divine but a prophet. Thus, the inscription also proclaims some of the core values of the newly formed religion of Islam. So you see, they are worshiping God. They're worshiping Muhammad as God's prophet, and they don't believe the Messiah has come. This is why the Dome of the Rock will not stand, especially since it is over the remains of the former temple. Sorry about that. The former temple. Pope Francis entered the Dome of the Rock on the third and final day of his visit to the Holy Land. Took off his shoes to step into the gold-topped dome, according to the Associated Press. He is seen in the above photos greeting the Muslim authorities. Now, the Pope is supposed to believe in Jesus Christ and act as such, but has he really? He shouldn't even allow anyone to call him Father, as is written in the Bible, that you shall not call anyone else Father. In addition, inside the Dome of the Rock are quotes from the Quran that manifest the Muslim view on Jesus, a prophet, but not a Messiah, the Son of Mary, but not the Son of God. That is Surah, S-U-R-A, 19, verses 33 through 35 in the Quran. Q-U-R apostrophe A-N. Yeshua, Jesus, is the Son of God. He has bore witness to us by the power of the Holy Spirit. So they have that very inscription inside the Dome of the Rock. Yeshua, a prophet, but not a Messiah. The Son of Mary, but not the Son of God. They actually have that inscribed there in the Dome of the Rock. It just boggles my mind. So you see the importance that the Dome of the Rock built on the Temple Mount, the site of Solomon's temple and its successors. This is huge. And that's the thing. If you don't believe in Yeshua, your world will come crumbling down around you.